didn't bring weapons, she brought a message. A yacht on open water, a mission to break a blockade, and on board Greta Thunberg, the girl once called naive for skipping school, now sailing into one of the most militarized conflicts on Earth. This isn't a protest sign. It's a floating moral argument. The Gaza Freedom Flotilla is headed straight for danger, loaded not with arms, but with food, medicine, and defiance. It's an act of disobedience in salt water. And Greta is risking everything to ask a question the world keeps ignoring. What does justice look like when law and power are not the same? Many call it madness. The Israeli military has already said it will intercept the boat. The passengers may be arrested, or worse. But what happens when silence feels more dangerous than confrontation? It's here that Greta stops being just an activist and becomes a philosophical case study. Think of Socrates, who stood before the powerful and refused to lie. Think of Kant, who believed in a duty so strong that one should tell the truth even if it leads to death. Think of Camus, who said, "The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion." This yacht, under international law, is not a threat. It carries humanitarian aid, yet it's treated as a threat. Why? Because moral action, real, visible, self-sacrificing action shames the status quo. Greta and the other activists on that boat are reminding the world that neutrality is not neutral, that refusing to act is, itself, a choice. Inaction is a form of support for the stronger side, especially when people are starving. Behind a blockade, there's a storm off the coast of Gaza. But it's not just waves and patrol boats. It's an ethical storm. Is it legal to blockade aid? Is it right to risk lives to challenge that? What kind of world do we build when the delivery of medicine becomes an act of war? Thoreau wrote about civil disobedience in the quiet woods of Massachusetts. Greta's doing it on the Mediterranean Sea, under the eyes of drones and warships. She's forcing the global audience to pick a side, not left or right, but silence or action. And what makes this so powerful isn't that she might succeed in delivering aid. It's that she's willing to fail, willing to be stopped, jailed, humiliated, because sometimes the moral victory is simply to act. This is not about perfect heroes. Greta isn't perfect. She's made mistakes. But in a time where most people scroll, repost, and move on, she's stepping off the screen and into real danger. What if the point of protest isn't to win, but to make it impossible to pretend you didn't see? The cameras are watching, the governments are watching, and somewhere inside, millions of people are watching too, asking themselves, would I dare to do the same? Justice isn't built in courtrooms. It's built in the moments when people decide that conscience is worth more than comfort. Some will say this is reckless, that politics are complicated, that the activists are being used. But here's the truth. Every empire, every oppressive regime has said the same thing about every act of resistance in history, that it's too naive, that it's too emotional, that it's too much. And yet history bends toward those who were too much. Greta's yacht might be stopped, the aid might not reach Gaza, the headlines might fade, but the act remains. Like the monks who lit themselves on fire to protest war, like the students in Tiananmen, like the freedom riders in the American South. Moral storms never start loud, they start with one person moving against the current. If the world is a sea of indifference, then the little yacht is a lighthouse, and you, watching this, have a choice. Not everyone needs to sail, but everyone must decide where they stand. The moral storm is already here. The question is not whether you'll get wet, it's whether you'll pretend it isn't raining.